Whether you stay at home or choose to work from outside the home, there will always be eyebrows raised. There will always be questions as to why that decision was made. Today, we have gathered 4 amazing women with 4 unique yet similar stories to share with us on their decisions in hopes that it might enlighten us better on staying at home and working from outside the home. Stay tuned.
Yes.
Seasons.
Yes.
We are home to
Yes, we are here. We are here to interview the triplets mama.
Wow.
Yay!
Wow.
Yes!
Triplet.
I'm Adiola Wamboise. I'm a mom to 3 under 3 years old. I have a set of triplets. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Mariah Ahunaya. As you all know, I'm a mom of 2, a toddler and a newborn. I currently work as a photographer, as a YouTuber, and sometimes as a freelance architect. But currently, I am a full-time mom because of my newborn. So yes.
No, I didn't choose to be a stay-at-home working mom. It just kind of happened from when I found out I was pregnant with triplets, and then the pregnancy was kind of turbulent. So it was just natural that I stopped work at that point. And even after I gave birth, obviously I had to stay back at home to take care of the kids, and then it just kind of flowed, and I'm still here.
It was part of the plan, but I did not choose to be a full-time stay-at-home mom as I currently am. It was part of the plan. It was part of the plan when I and my husband, when we were getting married, the things that we said. Gratefully, God has granted him a job that can sustain both of us and even a bit more. So we decided that for the first few years of marriage, I would not actively be in the job market working as a career mom. I would be at home with the children and still working as a freelance professional. Yes.
So my life dream before the kids was to have a fashion house, like a fashion empire of with like lots of fashion accessories, ranging from clothes to shoes, because I love fashion. Fashion intrigues me, so that was my life dream. And before having the kids, I had a brand, Timeless Wears, where I was making leather accessories, unisex leather accessories, shoes, bags, bracelets, belts, anything leather. Yeah. That's what I was doing before the kids.
So from the very start, as I said before having kids and everything, the plan was that for a couple of years, I would have the leisure of time. I would have my own time to an extent. I would be able to run some things on my own, so I could have I can't remember the word to use now, but I would have some time to myself to be able to do things I want and to be able to take care of my family. So I thought that I would have a company when I got here. I thought that I would open a studio for more memories that wasn't in my home, and I would be going there, to do photography, and I would hire some hands, and then by now I would have been a big brand name here in Port Harcourt. But here we are.
My current life dream is still really to own a fashion house. As much as I'm not really doing that now, I still find myself thinking about it every now and then, just trying to keep abreast with what's happening in the industry. Again, fashion intrigues me, so it's still my life dream to do that. But more importantly now, I already have kids, so I want kids that are well-rounded, kids that have the fear of God, kids that are not dependent on people, just not go to riffraffs. So yeah, that's very important to me. I also want to be happy. I want plenty money. So that kind of means that I need to go and double my hustle, however it is I want to find it. So yeah, I want money and I want a well-rounded family. Yeah.
My aspirations are still the same. I still want to have a big photography studio that caters to the memories and needs of different families and people. I still want to give people memories worth having and looking back at. I want to go to people's homes and do a day in your life. I want to still be that brand name that is homely and at the same time that gives quality memories to people. And I also still want to delve into architecture, but after I've traveled the world, I feel like I am very half-baked. And that's why I don't really talk about architecture, because yes, I may have finished with good grades, but I don't think I'm that much of a great designer or great architect yet. I feel like there's a part of my mind that has not yet been opened. So architecture is also in the books and in the works, but I want to study for that. Studying not necessarily formally, but I want to travel a lot. It's part of the plan. Go to places, see things, inhale and, exhale ideas, concepts, cultures, and different beautiful things all over the world. And I know that that will influence the way that I design eventually. So architecture is also part of the dream, but not now, much later. And of course, YouTube.
Now I'm honestly in between jobs. I'm currently taking a UX design course on Google. I work with a fintech. So yeah, those are the two things I'm currently doing.
Currently, I am a full-time mom.
I have three helps. I currently have three helps, and why? Because it was so important. There's just three children, three toddlers, and so they are a handful. And so I have help, but it also sometimes, most times, it feels like it's not enough, because you look at it in the sense that, oh, you have three people, like literally one help per child, but it's really not enough, in the sense that if you look at it as like from a family of maybe one child, and then you have one help. Most times you have one help when you have a child, right? But then you still find that the mom or the parents are still overwhelmed. You have to cater to the feeding of the children, the care for your husband, your home, go to the market, run errands, take your kids to school, bring them back, all of that. So if you add them up, that's literally my life for just that. This time around, I have three children. So most times it feels like it's not enough, because again, the help will not do the job the way you want it or the way you would like it for it to be done. So you still find yourself running around doing stuff despite the fact that you have help. So it's still overwhelming.
Yes, I have help. I have help in two dimensions. Thanks to the church family that I have here in Port Harcourt, there's a beautiful younger sister of mine that stays with us for now. It wasn't part of the plan initially, but when the church family saw me struggling, they suggested that she come and help us for a while, and the little while now has become a few months, and we are both enjoying that arrangement so far. What happened was that I was trying to get help at even before I delivered my child, but it was difficult. We had different types of staying and living helps that did not meet the expectations, and eventually had to go. And at the end of the day, I was doing leave out before, and I'm back to doing leave out now. So I have someone that comes to clean the house every 3 times a week, and my church sister lives with us in the house to help with the kids. And I will still say that even that help is not enough. I remember the first time I understood the concepts of help was when I read Mary Kay's book. I can't remember the name now, but I think it's Living Your Best Life or Living an Exceptional Life. I really like Mary Kay, by the way. And she said every wife needs a wife, and she broke it down. Even if you are hiring help, you're still the wife. You're still the one that is doing the bulk of the thinking, nobody can run your home for you. But you, as a wife, you need a neck. You need people that will help you to be the arms and legs of your brain. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of, not a lot, I have a handful of them that are stay-at-home moms, yes.
Yes, I have a few friends that are stay-at-home moms. I have a few friends. Yes, I have a few friends that are stay-at-home moms.
And I have a ton of them that are working moms. Most of them are working moms, yeah.
I do have a few friends that are also working moms. I have more working mom friends than stay-at-home mom friends.
If I'm being honest, I think that my relationship with the ones who are stay-at-home moms is kind of deeper because again, we have like shared, in quotes, shared burdens, and we understand each other better, we understand our schedules better. So it's easier for me to relate better with them as opposed to those who are at work who probably are like 9 to 5 hours, and obviously you cannot be chatting with those kind of people during the day because then the communication is skewed, it's not timely. So yeah. Honestly, I don't know how they view me. I'm not a very social person, so I'm not one to keep a lot of friends at a time. So I try to, in my humble or my honest opinion, to assume that they think the best of me, assume that they don't find me as a NFA. I hope that they don't see me as a no future ambition person because so our life is different. So I don't know, to be honest. But I have a few of them that I'm quite close to because I was working at the time, so we're again sharing the same. I don't know if I should say values or something. So we had the same approach to life and all of that. So those people I still relate with very well. Yeah, that's all I can say.
I have different pockets and different circles of friends. I have single friends, I have married friends that have not delivered, I have working, I have, mom friends, and even amongst all this, there are different pockets, there's different circles, there are different values that each person brings. So how do I rate my relationship with the stay-at-home mom and the working mom? I think there are different values that they bring. There are times that I can relate more with the stay-at-home mom because we are in quote going through the same things. There are times that I can relate more with the working mom because it's sometimes where I aspire to be. So that dynamics goes on and off here and there. There's something that each one brings that the other one doesn't bring, and I appreciate the individual groups. As for how they view me, I feel that my stay-at-home friends, I can relate more with them and they can relate more with me. I think we view each other more as equals than I would describe my working friends. I've had working friends who have unconsciously berated me. They're like, so you just want to stay at home, or okay, so you just want to work from home. And, they mean well, but they feel like I am not achieving the best that I can based on the person that they know me to be. They feel I'm not in my maximum capacity. So I have that, we have that back and forth sometimes of, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. And sometimes none of your business as well. So yeah.
I don't think so. Again, I'm not a very social person. So even when I was working and I did not have children to, in quotes, tie me down, I didn't used to go anywhere. I'm a homebody. Just there's lights, there's internet, there's food is not even important to me. So I typically would just like to stay at home. I don't go anywhere, to be fair. So now that I'm trying to enjoy life and stuff, I find myself considering that if I go out, I have to back at social time so that I can maybe talk the kids in bed, say good night, or are the nannies doing the best or that they should be doing? I find myself just wondering about all this kind of stuff. So yeah, a few times when I really feel like I want to go out, I consider those things. I won't just on a whim say, I'm doing this, I have to carefully plan whatever social events or social things I'm doing.
Do you know the funny thing? I think I actually socialize more now that I am a stay-at-home mom. Of course, my socializing is planned, but on a normal day, I'm not even someone that likes to socialize. But to be honest, I have a bit more time, especially when the children are in school. I have a bit more time to be there for my friends. I have seen it especially in recent times, where most of my friends that are working are busy. So maybe we have to organize a shower for our friends. We have to organize birthdays. Maybe it's also my personality. I like to be involved. So when I'm part of a group, maybe a WhatsApp group, I'm not the silent kind of person. I like to be involved. I like to help with the planning. So I see myself being, in that sense, I see myself being a more active member of the group, a more social member of the group. When it comes to planning trips as well, when it comes to taking trips, we took a girls trip last year. I feel that I may be far, but when I am close, I am really close. When it's time to give time, I don't think if I was working, there were weddings that I missed because I was working. I was so busy when I was working. Architecture was what I was doing, and it was such a architecture is like a spouse. It was very attached to me, and I was very attached to it. I don't think I would have had as much time in comparison to now that I'm doing my own thing and looking after. So staying at home has its benefits for my friendships, I think.
So my relationship with my spouse is different now, and the dynamics is just different. And it's not even necessarily because of the kids. I think what we've evolved as a people. I'm different now. It's different. I remember having a conversation with him not too long ago, and he was saying something about, oh, I'm changed now. Like I've changed, that things that used to piss me off now, things that piss me off now would not matter to me then. It's like almost like they're just different. And I look at him the same way, like, oh, you're different. You used to be like this before, you used to be like this now. And I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just like, okay, we're evolving, we're growing, human beings change. So everything is different. Again, we now have to consider the children. So almost like sometimes you're putting yourself at the back or something and putting the kids first. So as opposed to before, it would normally consider me first. So it's just different.
A lot of times he enjoys it. He enjoys it so much that unconsciously he tries to hinder me from going out. Yeah, a lot of times he enjoys it because there's someone that is reliable and capable at home to look after our children, his children, my children. Someone that he can trust, someone that his heart is at peace with. So he has the opportunity to, aside from going to work, he has the opportunity to do other things. He has the opportunity to go swimming, for instance, go golfing, for instance, or go to church meetings. His life kind of continued because I was at home to an extent. I mean, there's some things in his life that halted. He's not gaming with his friends as much as he used to. He's not going out as he used to. It's not like he was the going out person to start with. But there's some things in his life that have definitely changed. But the pace at which his life changed is not as drastic as mine, and that's because I am, in quotes, sacrificing the larger part of my life for the family. So in that sense, he enjoys me being at home. There's always food at home. He has food. He has peace of mind, But in terms of finances, once in a while, I think at the beginning, especially with my son Joshua, he didn't understand. We both didn't understand what was going on. It hit us like a ton of bricks that, hey, Moriah wasn't going to be bringing in anything for a few months. And at that time, he would tell me, I can't wait for you to start working again, because there was a lot of financial burden. But I think with time, especially when, it wasn't like a threat, but when we saw the kind of helps that we had, it became threatening to deal with the idea of living with our child with somebody, and then both of us not being there, and then our children just being with people other than ourselves. So he began to appreciate that I was staying at home with the kids more, and less we have that conversation of go back to work, etc, etc.
We had a conversation recently about this, and he kind of explained his opinion to me, and he it changed my view of it. So, and this was the exact question that I asked him, like, how do you feel about me not contributing financially to the house? Do you feel burdened? And of course, it feels burdened because, yeah, there's 3 children, you're paying for like multiple things at once and doing so many stuff. And just being the sole primary care financial provider, it takes a toll. And I understand that, but then hearing from him just made me feel better, like, oh, even if, and again he's a very, I don't know, in quotes, archaic person, in the sense that it's not these Gen Z people like we're sharing the bills, we're doing 50-50, 70-30. So like, I remember him saying that even if you were earning like a lot of money, yeah, I would appreciate if you want to give me something or contribute to the house like financially, but it's not like I would say, oh, this is what you are doing, you are in charge of the rent, you are in charge of the school fees or something. Like, I would rise up to the occasion and do whatever I'm doing. Like, however, I wish that I was making more, like he was making more money, and like don't have to even worry about what my wife is bringing. I think for him, what he really said that stood out to me was like, I want you to be happy. Like, are you happy staying at home? Are you happy going out, going to work, doing 9 to 5 and that kind of thing? And it just felt like the onus is on you. Is this what you want to do? Is this how you see your life going? Like, just be happy. I'm fine taking on the role. If you have spare cash and you feel like, oh, you want to contribute, I'm happy to like take it on. But it's not like for me to say, oh, you bring this particular amount, this is your own quota and that kind of thing. So it just made me feel better, like, okay, I have like leeway to do what I really want to do. I'm not pressured to go and bring money, even though I aspire to be a contributing partner. Like, not necessarily like, oh, I want to be taking care of the rent, but just like, oh, I see a need in the house and I meet it. Yeah.
I don't think so. Personally, I don't think so. I think if the children did not come, that money will have gone to maybe extended family members or to friends or to something. That's just kind of person, because there's nothing that I want to do now that I can't really do. If I really want to do it, then money will be available to do it. Yes. No. We didn't fight about money before. We don't fight about money now, except for when we had my son Joshua, and as I said, some of the finances and the financial implications of having a child really dawned on us. That was like the only time. But when we moved past that stage, there was an evolution of both our minds, of the things that having a child involves. After we moved past that stage, then we were both good.
No, I'm not. I'm happy that I can go and do the hustle and bring back the money because I'm a baby girl.
I am resentful of him a few times. Yes, I am. I'll be honest. I am resentful of him, especially when I am alone with the 2 children, and maybe the sister that stays in the house with us has gone to her own family, or she has gone to work, or she's gone, and then I'm just the only one with them. And then maybe one of the children is throwing a tantrum, and I am the one that has to deal with this. You know, I love them, but I feel like, why am I the one that is dealing with this by myself now? Especially if something he's doing can be foregone. Maybe he's doing some church work that I feel you can explain to them that you have a family to look after. Something that I would have been expected to forego. So yeah, those are the moments that I feel resentful. Or maybe when he comes back from work and he's really tired. But I feel like I have also been at home with these kids all day. Come and play with your children. I'm going inside. And he's like, please, just have mercy on me. Or he wants to change it for me. And I'm like, you are changing it for who? Let's begin to change it for each other, you know. So yeah, those are just like the moments that I feel resentful of him. And I let him know. I say, you know, these days I really hate that you are living your life and I'm not living mine. But we move past those moments quickly.
Yes, I would consider, in fact, I consider going back to Timeless First every now and then. I recently made designs for another brand, but anyway, that's story for another day. But again, it's what I really like. I like I like making shoes. I like fashion, not necessarily just shoes. I like clothes. I like those kind of things. So, and I want to be a part of the process. I don't just want to be an outsider. Oh, they are making stuff for and just like, oh, this is trendy. Let me get on it. I want to be the ones who is like making stuff and then, in quotes, setting those kind of trends. So yes, I want to get back to it, and not out of like any pressure, like financially. It's just like I like I said, I like money. I like good things. I want to be able to wake up and just be like, you know what, today is retail therapy. You know what, today I'm going on a trip. You know what, I'm buying my husband this thing. I'm buying my kids this. I'm buying this. I'm buying that, without having to like burden my husband for those kind of things. So yeah, I would love to go back to that.
Yes, of course. I am already in the works. I went back fully when Joshua was 9 months. I went back into photography. And I think I would give the same grace to Ezekiel, if not more. I think I'll stay a year and then I will start pursuing my passion actively again in photography. And then I will start looking at traveling also for studying, maybe when they're both a bit older. You know, just travel the globe and start to pick up the pieces of my life that I left in architecture. So yes, of course, I'm looking at going back into the same things that I was doing before, but not just in the same way. I'm still doing YouTube. YouTube keeps me going, and I hope that I will still be doing YouTube in years to come.
Satisfied, yes. Happy, I don't know, because I feel like recently I want many things. I don't even know what it is. I'm at a phase where I'm just like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this. And I feel like I'll be so much happier if I add money of my own. Whilst if I ask my husband for a number of things, he would readily give it to me. If not now, he would make a plan for it and eventually I get them. But there's just, I don't know if it's, if it's a childish thing to say now that I just want something, like I want it now and I want to be able to, in quotes, snap my finger. I know that it doesn't work like that for almost everybody, but I want to be able to like just buy something for myself, just, yeah, do that by myself.
I feel very satisfied, which is odd, right? There are down times, of course, there are times that I feel like I'm not doing enough, I'm not achieving enough, my brain is going to some form of waste. And there are times that I'm really grateful that I can pour myself in this kind of way into these special gifts that God brought to life through me. So yeah, I'm mostly satisfied.
In general, my health is, I think, okay. I am getting, so a while ago, I feel like I don't know, these days everybody say they are depressed. So these days, I don't know if it holds so much weight. But I feel like I was going through a bout of depression earlier in the year and even up until a couple of months ago. But I feel like I'm much better now. Like I've made an intentional or a conscious decision to just be happy for myself. And so that meant me resuming my exercises. I take a walk like at least 4 times a week, 4 to 5 times during the week. And it's very helpful. At least I do about an hour and a half every 4 or 5 days in a week. It's been helpful. I'm intentional about my relationship with God, much more intentional than I used to be before. And yeah, I'm just consciously deciding to be happy, even though maybe things around me are not going how I would want it to be. But intentionally just living, choosing joy, choosing happiness. Yeah. And I intentionally pray about it every day that today I choose happiness, I choose joy. Even if somebody chooses to annoy me, it's not, I choose happiness. Yeah.
My health is better than it used to be with Joshua, I would say, especially mentally. I didn't know that I probably had some form of baby blues with Joshua, but looking back now, there were some things that I did, and I'll see them on camera, that were scary. There was a day that I had a pot pan in my hand randomly, and I said, let me just test this on my hand and test this on baby's hand. And I scalded him when he was young. And I was like, are you sure that was not a mental issue? There were some times I would pluck the hair from my baby's head because they were too I don't know, there were just some things that I did that were weird. There was a way that I also was behaving to my husband, you know. I was just angry at him, and I would be suppressing a lot of anger. So I feel that mentally, when I wasn't mentally prepared for baby, even though I thought I was, but I wasn't fully mentally prepared for baby. But with this second child, I've had more joy. I will not lie. I've had so much more joy. I feel so much more, I feel less empty. So even when I see my friends doing things that oh, you could have been like this, or you could have gotten here, I don't have that I don't have that thought or that feeling as much. Yeah.
So I care for myself these days mostly through my exercises and my skincare routine. It's something I really like doing and I enjoy doing it. So that's where all my money is going to, in case you are wondering why I don't have plenty money. But yeah, like I said before, I'm intentional about my exercises these days, and I hope to even get like put more work into my exercise and like start going to the gym like I used to before. Now I just take like brisk walks, and I'm imputing running into it now. I add a bit of running here and there, nothing too serious, but it's been very helpful for me. I also take my physical health very seriously. If I feel like something is wrong with me, I don't waste time. I'm at the hospital already, because I had a bit of health challenge this year and it was not fun. So I'm more intentional about those things now.
I'm bad when it comes to medical checkups, but I do exercise from time to time. I even exercise today. So I do this dancing because I want to lose some weight. So yeah, I think I'm not the skincare person. I'm not the beauty person. I think that's one of the downsides of staying at home for me, is the fact that I look basically the same every day. Under this wig is hair that I've had for a while. So I don't think I'm taking care of myself as well as when I was working, to be honest. So when it comes to how I treat myself, I don't think I'm treating myself as well. I need to take my skincare routine more seriously. Aside from exercise, the only thing that the only thing that I do is maybe eat well, but every other thing, buy clothes, dress well, that's like at the end of the pile of priorities for me. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
Yeah, I think I was still, I mean, if my life still went the same direction of having maybe a set of triplets at once, eventually I think it's almost like a no-brainer, especially when you are presented with the choice. If maybe my husband wasn't so financially well to do, I might have been forced to get back into the job market almost immediately. But the fact that I'm thankful that I had the choice to do this, like for myself and for the children and for the family, like just take a few months back to watch the children, cater for them. It's been very helpful, and I can't even deny the fact that I enjoyed doing it, even though it was always stressful. And sometimes, when you have something, you want something else that another person has, and you start envying somebody else. But if you think about it, maybe those who are also working might also want to spend time with their family. So I'm just happy doing what works for my family, doing what works for my situation. So I'll still do it again. Maybe on the side, what I know now is that it doesn't pay, at least for me, it doesn't pay to stay off work what you enjoy doing for a very long time, which is how I got, almost in quotes, I got stuck just being a stay-at-home mom. So because I stayed away for a very long time, just as not doing anything related to timeless wears, what I really love, just away. By the time I was ready to get back, I struggled. And so it just felt like, and I started to doubt myself, do I really enjoy what I'm doing? Do I want to stay back at home? Let me stay back at home. Let me not. It just became a decision that, it was a tough one to make. But I think I would make the same decision, but this time around, just not stay off completely.
I would. There's so much that is happening, especially in this time and in this age. I wouldn't risk. I love them too much, my two children too much, to not be present the way I am currently. And yes, no shades to working moms, but I can work, I can still work, but I choose not to. I'm happy that I have the choice to not be able to. I'm happy. Every time when I think about it, I'm grateful that my husband is the one doing the hustling. I'm very grateful.
What I would advise any other mom who is considering being a stay-at-home working mom is just think about it, have a discussion with your family. For me, like I said, it just kind of happened. We didn't really have a discussion about it. It just was a natural progression from how I got pregnant. The doctors were like, "Oh, stay back at home so that you would have a safe pregnancy." And all. So I just progressed into it. We never really discussed about it. Again, it was never my life goal. So but I would really want like anybody who wants to like go this route to think about it. Let it not be like something that just happened to you. You be the one to like make that decision, make a conscious decision to want to do that for yourself. And once you have made that decision, just forget about what other people are saying or what people around you are doing, or just focus on your own family. Because again, being a stay-at-home and work-at-home mom, as it kind of gives me the flexibility. I'm able to look after my children better. I can see what my helps are doing. I can see what I want. I'm able to pick up traits and things that you would not ordinarily see just being popping in, pop out, like that kind of in quotes. But if you're constantly available, you're able to see those kind of things, and it's just a well-rounded way to. Apologies to 9 to 5ers, and I feel like I'm offending them, but it feels like it's a better approach for my family. I have 3 children, 3 toddlers at once, so it was a very lovely decision for me. I'm happy to make it again.
I hope to be the parent after God's heart. I hope that I can mentor and groom my children in the way that God desires and pleases. I hope that I can also bond better with my husband and with my family. I hope that my work will not be too affected and I'll be able to go back to it. These are the hopes that I have as a stay-at-home mom. My advice for anybody who wants to be stay-at-home, the Bible says that if you want to build a house, you have to sit down and count the cost. You have to sit down and check that can you afford it. Look at all the disadvantages that have been stated. You will probably be neglected. You will probably be underappreciated. At least when you're working in an office, someone appreciates you. But your children will not appreciate you. Your husband will not appreciate you. It's truly a payless job, because no matter how much money your husband gives you, you don't have enough. There's something that happens to you when you earn your own money and when you do your own things yourself. So you never have enough, to be honest. So it's a thankless job, it's a payless job, but it's a very fulfilling job. And you just have to decide if that's what you want. There are lots of people that are good helps and good caterers, but nobody would love or cater for your child the way that you would. And yeah, this is my advice to you. Just count the costs before you build. Autant.